Moonshine has been a popular, if illegal, alcoholic drink for generations, but moonshine making may be about to go mainstream, with a few legal North Carolina distilleries popping up to offer the product commercially.
We can see our temperatures in the distillation column at the deflegmator.
Troy Ball is the first woman in America to try her hand at making commercial moonshine. She wants to break the mold and upscale the drink's historic standing, and she wants a bottle of her moonshine sitting on the top shelf beside the finest distilled products.
Years ago, people really dumbed down the hillbilly. And even today, there are companies out there that are trying to make $1 on the hillbilly corncob pipe, mountain man. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're really trying to honor the tradition of the earliest whiskey makers in America.
The distillery might be named for Troy and her children, but Troy and Sons is a partnership. Charlie Ball is part of that team. He's Troy's husband and a businessman. He says Troy focused on making moonshine just a few years ago, then went looking in the mountains for bootleggers who'd teach her the traditional art of distilling.
This was her idea. I thought it was nutty. Tried to talk her out of it. Couldn't see where there was a business model there.
Do you have that innate quality about making moonshine, or is this learned and you're just a very smart person who figured out the chemistry of moonshine?
No, I had to learn from the old guys. I mean, really, literally, we built stills out of old whiskey barrels and piped them the same way that the moonshine guys made their steam stills in the early days.
The Balls learned there's a knack to distilling moonshine, but found there's a science behind all that artistry. They went high-tech when they opened Troy and Sons, but learned that Charlie's nose and Troy's tongue were perfect gauges in crafting their moonshine recipe.
I'm probably first on the line because it's coming off the still, but she's got a great sense of taste. She's never really been a drinker, so she's preserved all those taste buds that many people have ruined by now. We did 20 distillations with the new equipment. We did 33 distillations with the old equipment, and it wasn't until we had the 54th distillation that we really got it like we wanted it.
The Balls call their moonshine a super premium product and believe they can take it nationwide without sacrificing that historic name. Does moonshine help you or hurt you as a name?
I think if we were making this in LA, moonshine wouldn't make sense, but we're making it in the mountains where it was originally from. We're in the epicenter for moonshining. Even today, it's still an active practice from Georgia to Virginia.
But for Troy and Son Distillery to succeed as a national moonshine maker, they must convince mainstream diners and drinkers that moonshine is not a gimmick. Usually selling alcohol is something either you sell it in mass or you don't make a dime on it. What made you think you can tackle that?
Well, no one's figured out how to make a great moonshine in the marketplace, as we call it, superfine moonshine. So we're taking principles that come out of European distillation techniques with equipment, where they're making very fine fruit distillates, and we're applying that to grain.
Do you see this as competing with bootleggers that are still out there, or is this a whole new world in cocktails you're trying to introduce?
I definitely think this is a new thing. I don't see us as competing with bootleggers at all. There'll always be a place for American bootleg, and there always has been a place. But this is a way to get moonshine out to the rest of America.
In Asheville, legal moonshine is being served as a replacement for vodka and gin in mixed drinks. We dropped by the Tupelo Honey Cafe, where mixologist Stephanie Parsons is using Troy and Son moonshine in her drinks. How do people view moonshine these days?
Well, I guess it depends on if they drink it. I mean, it's been pretty popular for us so far since we've had it. Since we've gotten it. People are interested in it. They want to try it. They want to know the story and why is it legal and who's making it and what are we doing with it. So
I sense customers tiptoe into it. They just don't dive into a moonshine order.
yeah, it helps to fluff it up a little bit at first. I've had a couple of people come in and drink it straight.
Old-time tradition suggests you sip your moonshine straight, but if it's to go mainstream, it still may need the help of a chaser or the support of a recipe like the Prohibition-era favorite, the Tommy gun.